Hi, John Han here, and the pulsing cinema movie of the day is Suicide Cult, aka The Astrologer, directed by James Glickenhaus, 1975. Now, there was another film released in 1975 with the same title, The Astrologer. It's directed by Craig Denny, and it's a much weirder film. And I actually did a review of that film in my Endangered Fest video that I did a while back. Kind of odd that two films with the same name were released in the same year. And I wonder if either one had predicted that. So, Suicide Cult is the title that it came out on home video. And a weird, wild, strange film. Just, I mean, not strange in that there's this crazy stuff that happens. It's just how little happens, you know. Based on a novel by John Cameron from the early 70s. A novel that I've not read, but I predict is kind of like this pulpy kind of sci-fi horror, occult horror novel thing. The video box art proclaims very loudly, "In the tradition of the Omen." And I guess you could kind of say that it is. So, Suicide Cult, The Astrologer. The astrologer of the title is this guy, Alexei, who is the head of this, shadowy group called Interzod, which is using computers to calculate the zodiacal potential of every person in the world, living or dead. Zodiacal. You hear that word a lot in this film. Zodiacal potential. I didn't even know zodiacal, derived from zodiac was even a word. But I try to use it a lot. I'm not able to use it. I can only use it when I talk about this film. So I try to talk about this film every once in a while so I can use that word zodiacal because it's just so fun. It sounds like diabolical. Zodiacal. So astrology, obviously, the idea, it's mixing astrology with science, right? And astrology is this idea that based on your birth date and the configuration of the planets that this is telling about your life. So basically they're doing, computerized horoscopes, Basically they're able to calculate the behavior of someone, based on their zodiacal potential. And they're using it in kind of weird, shadowy ways, like as far as in order to control government or give knowledge about political candidates and how they're going to behave in certain situations. And they're tracking this one guy in India named Tajurk. And this guy, Tajurk, apparently has the zodiacal potential that is like off the map. They've never seen it before. So they think he's probably like the Antichrist. And then they're doing this, all of these calculations and trying to find the zodiacal potential of Virgin Mary, which may be this guy Alexei's girlfriend, wife, Kate, who was played by a Playboy playmate, I think a 1973 Playboy playmate. And so the film goes on and on and on. We got scenes of Tajurk, who's in India, and he's leading this cult who is, sacrificing women. We see him at night. There's all these sacrificial scenes where he strips this naked woman down and silhouetted by flame. He's a bad dude, this Tajurk. He's Mr. Antichrist. So the Interzod gets together and they're like, we gotta take this guy out. We gotta kill him. They come up with probably one of the worst plans. One of the worst assassination plans, I think, in the history of human civilization. I'm going to tell it to you. I'm going to spoil it because then there is a video on YouTube with this clip because it's so ridiculous. If you haven't seen that YouTube clip, which thank God you've not, you probably have not. I mean, Jesus, my God, Suicide Cult. What they're going to do, this woman who's with Interzod comes up with the plan that they're going to knock this guy to jerk out with a tranquilizer. They're going to put electrodes on his head and feed him video, and they're going to use this video to convince him to cut himself with a poison dagger. What could go wrong? Basically, everything goes wrong. And then towards the end of the film, Alexei is hanging out with his wife, and she tells him that she tells him that she had like a virgin birth. And then there's this kid playing on a swing set in America, and Tajirk is there. The end. It's a weird movie. Yeah, it's a movie when people tell you that the movie is just scenes of people talking, at each other, it's just all that, people say that. But this movie really is just scenes of people talking. It's just scenes of people sitting down or walking and just talking at each other. And there's a conference and people talk to each other. There's another scene. And then every once in a while, Tajirk shows up and does something. And then the two more people talk. There's more scenes of just people talking and walking and talking than the Star Wars prequels, which is pretty bad. But this film is even worse. And I mean the idea of the zodiacal potential and using computers and marrying it with this old art, this arcane kind of occult stuff is cool and original, and could be the basis for a real pulpy sci-fi cult thriller type film. But it's just in this film, there's not really. I don't think it doesn't seem like there's the budget to support those ideas. The film is writing checks that it can't cash. Even though it tries to make it out. I mean, like, it seems like every scene, it's like a Bond film. Every scene is like, in different country, in the Americas, Europe, and bounces, in India, and here, there, and you see these computer generated title cards and things that pop up and tell you, oh, we're here, we're there, and it's like, what the hell is going on here? What the hell is going on with this film? The VHS also seems like it's cropped. It looks like it almost might be a widescreen film. But, it's a Panavision film, but it might be. It's just the VHS is just horrible. The transfer is horrible. It has some nudity. I mean, the playmate gets nude in this rather extended scene where she just gets up and walks around in the bedroom for no real good reason. So, there's a bit of entertainment there. It's a bit of a novelty there. And the film just ends. Yeah, it just ends. It's just like, you feel like it's getting, the film's, towards the end, you feel like it's kind of heating up. Okay, there's going to be the confrontation between, the Antichrist and the Nazarene, and all. And it's, oh man, and they're just, wait, those are the credits. So what happens? Does evil win? Does Tajirk win? Does he not? Where am I? I need more scenes of people talking to each other about zodiacal stuff. And then it just ends. It's like, whoa. Odd film. Odd film. Interesting concept. A low budget execution, some novelty, if you like kind of cult movies. There's not really much of a cult in this film. If you like weird, hippy-dippy, like mid to late 70s, concepts, sci-fi, weirdo concept movies, this is definitely a movie to check out. But I just love the zodiacal. I could say that word all day. Zodiacal. Zodiac, zodiacal. I love it. Zodiacal. I love it. Suicide Cult. I guess I'll give it a thumbs up. Whatever. Zodiacal. Zodiacal. I love it. zodiacal.